Okay, if you agree, we can start. Thank you to all of you to join this webinar. Good afternoon. Thanks for participating in this presentation of Nutriwellb ebook. I'm Cristobal Fernandez, professor of the School of Communications in Complutense University in Madrid, Spain. Today is June the 7th. Today is the World Food Safety Day, so the perfect day to hold this webinar. I think you are all agree with this. Our European Erasmus project, Nutriwellb, address as a priority, contribute to media literacy and fight against misinformation, providing a platform for verification and detection of fake news on nutrition and well-being. And all this is possible thanks to a consortium led by Complutense University, including our partners, institutions from North Macedonia, Germany, Italy, Portugal, and Spain. Online nutrition-related information is often inaccurate and of low quality. Consumers seeking information online are at risk of being misinformed. More action is needed to improve the public health and media literacy and the reliability of online nutrition-related information. In recent years, the prevalence and spread of misinformation in online platforms have become a significant problem. Internet and social media can instantly publish information all users on any topic, regardless their experience of qualifications. Consequently, consumers are presented with an abundance of online information of variable quality and veracity. Furthermore, it has been identified that consumers typically have low levels of media literacy and critical evaluation skills. That's why our aim in Nutriwellb is to promote fact-checking related to nutrition and well-being, to respond to this alarming increase of fake news and misinformation. For that reason, as part of this research work, today we are launching our ebook that has been published by Dickinson Editors and is offered for free to all users following Creative Commons standards. Thanks to the authors, Ainhoa Ezquiaza, María Luisa García Guardia, Elisa Bray, for the contributions as authors. Following, we will present international perspective on nutrition and well-being fact-checking from the United Nations and the World Health Organization by Professor Elisa Bray. And after that, we will have presentations from national perspective on nutrition and well-being fact-checking with a selection of national case studies. So thank you very much. And please, Elisa Bray, this is your turn. The floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Cristobal. Well, I'm pleased to be here with you all the members of the consortium. María Luisa García Guardia, Cristobal Fernández Muñoz, Ainhoa Ezquiaza Bravo, and myself, we are only editors. The authors are members of the consortium, and some of them are present today, like Giussi Volpe from Italy, Andrijana Bogdanovska from North Macedonia, Yvonne Ferreira from Portugal, and we have also Aventia Wilona with us from Germany. So what we have done in this ebook is make a research about nutrition and well-being fact-checking. And while my colleagues will present you some findings from the national cases, I will give some recommendations based on the international standards. So as a first step of the research, we have analyzed what the United Nations through the Sustainable Development Goals, what the World Health Organization and the European Union have to say or have said about nutrition and well-being fact-checking. On the basis of this research through these three organizations, we have defined a series of recommendations that I will share with you now. First, based on those international standards, we have identified that nutrition, or more than identified, we can confirm that nutrition is a key issue in respect to well-being, health, and sustainable lifestyle and a sustainable environment, with implications at both individual and society level. A healthy diet is fundamental to limit cardiovascular diseases, diabetes and cancer, obesity, malnutrition, and it is essential to protect and ensure the quality of maternal, infant, and young children's nutrition. But nutrition and well-being fact-checking should also be based on accurate information provided by reliable sources, such as public institutions, professional organizations, and scientific experts. Fact-checking should also keep in mind ethical standards. As citizens, as my colleague Cristobal Fernandez said before, as citizens have direct access to different kinds of information, especially through online content, education and pedagogical tools are fundamental for them to distinguish between accurate information and fake news. And since new digital challenges are emerging, such as bots, phishing, fake profiles, and clickbaits, citizens should learn to use those new tools and constantly be informed about it to protect themselves against disinformation, also in the field of nutrition and well-being. Misinformation is identified as a threat to democracy, environment, and health. According to the European Union, fake news aims at misleading audiences and making economic profit. According to the World Health Organization, citizens should especially be aware that aggressive marketing supports the proliferation of highly processed food, which is negatively affecting nutrition. In that sense, they recommend that international experts recommend that advertising should be transparent and private companies should be involved in the battle against fake news. As a last recommendation, we would like to introduce the idea that misinformation in the field of nutrition and well-being can have negative consequences for women and girls who suffer discrimination and inequalities, but gender stereotypes can also affect boys and men, especially in terms of their mental health. And after I have presented those recommendations based on international standard, I would like to give the floor to Giussi Volpi, our representative from Italy, to give us some perspective from Italy about nutrition and well-being fact-checking. Thank you very much, Giussi.
Thank you so much, Elisa, for introducing me. Hello, everyone. I'm Giussi Volpe from Italy. I'm a project manager at the Community Foundation of Agrigento and Trapani, and we are partner in this project. And we have been working a few months and in almost 1 year already in this project and in this deliverable. So we are very happy to share with you some thoughts on the importance of the mindful choices, food choices, and paying attention to our eating habits. As you said before, it's really important to be really well informed about nutrition, because we realize after this work that how often we neglect a crucial aspect of our daily lives that has a profound impact in our health and well-being, that is nutrition. So in our age dominating by convenience and instant gratification, it's really all too easy to fall into unhealthy eating patterns. So, for example, for doing an example is like we have already replaced the Mediterranean diet, to be one of the healthiest one, with the Western diet, characterized by high energy foods, rich in fat, free sugars and salt, and often at the expense of fruit, vegetables, and fiber-rich whole grain. And in our research, we highlighted how many of different campaigns are in our countries related to this topic, and in order to inform the families, the students, the academic to not get really bad influenced from mass media and social media and from all the misinformation that we have. Today, I would like to highlight an important campaign that was made in Italy, and it's like it's called Education for a Correct Diet. And it was promoted by the Italian Minister of Health. And this initiative promotes education in nutrition and healthy eating. And through its page, the minister disseminates good practice for healthy lifestyle and proper nutrition. And it combines education about a healthy and balanced diet that is really important in order to prevent disease. And it does this new method through combining promoting knowledge about nutrition and composition and origin of food, and turning learning into a process in which students get actively involved, and facilitating the collaboration within schools, families, promoting interactive and easy dissemination of teaching material from multimedia tools. This campaign is really well connected with the alarm that the World Health Organization has sounded, which urging everyone to adopt a healthy diet throughout life to prevent various diseases. So it's really important in our society, like be really informed and moderating, and take advice from accurate information, like promoting by for example, official website like the World Health Organization or the FAO or other scientific paper. Like, for example, moderating fat intake is important not just for reducing free sugar, for managing weight managing, but also for reducing the risk of cardiovascular and related disease. Or reducing free sugar is important because we usually prefer eating like processed foods that always is full of free sugar, and can increase the risk of chronic disorder such as type 2 diabetes or heart disease. So it's really necessary. And this ebook and other deliverables that are produced by the Nutriwellb project, it's like a really important step and really important method that can help like students and whoever to get accurate information and power to make informed decision, and not less that our food choices be influenced by mass media and social media or by other information. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Giusy. Grazie mille. And from Italy, we will travel to North Macedonia with the intervention by Andrijana Bogdanovska from the CKM. Thank you, Andrijana. We can't hear you, Andrijana. Your micro is blocked.
Apologies. Thank you very much, Elisa, for introducing me to the audience. Looking forward to share the details about the national context of North Macedonia when it comes to nutritional guidelines, and also to discuss with you some aspects that we have identified when it comes to the fake news regarding the food nutrition.
Okay, first, Andrijana, we can't see very well your presentation, so I think you need to select don't show this again, because there is a problem with the presentation.
Okay.
At least in my screen.
Can you share it? Can you see it now?
No.
No? Very strange. Okay, my apologies. One moment. Oh my goodness. One moment. Stop presenting. I don't know what happened. Very strange. Okay, I think this will be better now. One moment. Apologies. Is it better now?
Yes, now it's better. Now it's better.
Okay, excellent. So I will discuss with you very briefly what we have discovered regarding North Macedonia in the national context when it comes to food and nutrition. In general, the key legislation, which is defining the concepts of what is nutritional and what is good intake when it comes to food, is defined by several laws. The most important are the law on food safety and the law on health. But we also have a lot of regulation within this area, which are to some extent quite respected in the country, like fortification of the food products, the food labeling requirements, and the promotion of healthy eating habits, which are constant government campaigns for informing the citizens, especially the younger generations, on the importance of the quality food intake. When it comes to the institutions, the key institutions that are covering the area are the Ministry of Health, the Food and Veterinary Agency, the State Market Inspectorate, National Institute of Public Health, and the Ministry of Agriculture, Forestry and Water Economy, each within its domain of functioning. Besides this legal and institutional framework, there are many initiatives on annual level, sometimes initiatives that are covering longer time period, as is the National Campaign for Healthy Eating, which has begun from 2017. And each year there are specific campaigns that are working with the population on various levels to inform them and to educate them about the importance of the food intake. So for this specific presentation, I have selected the Healthy Meal for Every Child campaign, which is part of the National Campaign for Healthy Eating. And it aims to cover educational activities, information for young children who are going into the kindergartens. The focus of the campaign for the 2020-23 was that it benefits around 38,000 children across all kindergartens, and it is aiming to promote healthy eating habits among children and encouraging the consumption of fresh locally produced foods. Despite the focus on the children of kindergarten age, there are similar initiatives as this initiative, which is targeting a little bit older young people, specifically focused on the teenager ages. In terms of the fake news, unfortunately, we are a little bit behind when it comes to the actual fight against it, because there are no specific guidelines that the country can use or follow when there are cases of such initiatives. We believe that with the new strategy for ICT, new national ICT strategy of the country, which should be adopted this year, we will cover this aspect with more details as a country, and we will identify how to fight it. So at the moment in North Macedonia, when it comes to food and nutrition, the focus is mainly on providing information and educating various groups of young people at various contact points with them, whether they are kindergartens, whether they are elementary schools or high schools, but there are no specific initiatives which can be identified for fighting fake news. So this is why our participation in this project is so important for us, because we learn from the experience of the European Union partners, and we learn how to implement this in North Macedonia. So thank you very much for having us in the consortium.
Thank you very much, Andriana. We are also learning from North Macedonia when we traveled there a couple of months ago, so we are delighted to have you in the consortium. Okay, so now we remain in Southern Europe, and we'll have a presentation by Yvonne Ferreira from Nova University of Lisboa.
Hello, good afternoon all. It's a pleasure to see you again. Not in present, but almost in virtual presentation. So I'm here because I'm the coordinator of the project in Portugal, and I want to speak about the good practices that we found in Portugal. Although I need to say that it's not easy to find these resources in the internet. So again, the topic on the needs of having more literacy on digital, but also more literacy on fact-checking about nutrition. Well, in Portugal, the responsible for promoting a healthy diet is the Health National Service of the Portuguese government. That has a website, a very institutional, but also a blog and a place for questions and answers. If we can see that the information is very clear, very easy to understand, the fact of having an institutional website can put away the teenagers and some students of universities. I need also to stress that in Portugal we have laws about nutrition and what should be the healthy diet in canteens of jails and of schools, but this regulation is not applied to universities. So it's a job that we need to do. Okay, so I'm going to speak about the weblog O Nutrimento, that is made, as I said, by the Health National Service of the Portuguese government. And this blog publishes news about healthy food, regulation for food marketing for children, taxes on basic food, along with recommendation of the WHO. The aim is to promote exchange of information, ideas, and debate on current issues related to food, the dissemination of good practices, and research on this topic. But the weblog was created before 2020, and some topics need to be refreshed. The website also has a space for questions and answers, where we can ask, for instance, what does healthy eating mean? How many calories do I need per day? What should the children's diet be? What should I do to lose weight? What is the Mediterranean diet? And not putting away our partners of other countries, but we know that in Portugal, Italy, and Spain, most of the business and the conversation with friends is made at the tables. So while people speak, people eat, what leads to sometime overweight. Another important resource and good practices is demystifying with science, that was created by the Faculty of Medicine of Lisbon, and that has a laboratory of nutrition. And they have an ebook published in 2020, just in Portuguese, that includes questions and answers about healthy eating and these myths about food. The Faculty of Nutrition and Food Science of the University of Porto, in the north of Portugal, also made a polygraph for about nutrition. What is true, what is wrong that we find in the internet. But the problem with this project, Thinking Nutrition, is that it lives by a national foundation, by the Foundation of Science and Technology, that gives funds for 3 years. So after 3 years of this project, we don't have any more information. But now that I'm almost finishing about what we made about Portugal in this ebook, I need to stress that we don't think that our work is done, because we are trying to pass this information to our students in class, putting them, speaking and reflecting with the colleagues about the importance of positivity, seeing the bodies, and combating the body shaming. So I guess that although we are presenting this ebook, thank you for the authors. I guess in the next we will have next levels, next more results to present you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Yvonne. And now we're going to Northern Europe. We're traveling to Germany with Aventia Wilona.
Thank you, Elisa. Hello, everyone. My name is Ave, in short. I'm working as the manager of ACU. It's an accreditation council for entrepreneurial and engaged universities. So similar to GUC in Italy, we're not university, but we are a SME, a small, medium-sized enterprise. And we are located in Münster, is in the northern part of the North Rhine-Westphalia in Germany. So I don't know if you're familiar, but this is where we are. Through our research, we have found actually a great number of good efforts, commendable efforts from the German Federal Ministry of Food and Agriculture, or here in Germany, they are called the Bundesministerium für Ernährung und Landwirtschaft, BMEL, I think it's short. So they really eagerly promoting a balanced and healthy diet for all citizens. And all of these efforts and all of these recommendations, they comprise it in the food and nutrition strategy for the German federal government, which in the process, they involve various stakeholders. I think what I would like to share today is one of the initiatives that I find the most interesting is actually related to food advertising. So I remember, I think it was back in February 2023, under the leadership of the Minister of the Federal Ministry of Food and Agriculture, they have proposed a ban towards advertising junk food aimed at children. So they say that children under the age of 14, they would like to actually reduce the exposure to advertising on food and drinks with too much fat, too much sugar, and too much salt. And this restriction, they do not really just want to impose it in television marketing, but also in social media, even in outdoor. So I think this is a very interesting effort to make sure that if you're not really exposed to that, then you're not urged to purchase it and eat it. And then they said this campaign, basically, they want to restrict it between 6 a.m. and 11 p.m. We want to reduce all of these ads that focus on this type of food. So other than the government, there are also a lot of private organizations and also play a vital role in promoting nutrition and well-balanced diet. One of them is the German Nutrition Society. It's called DGE. They have been actively promoting these rules of wholesome and well-balanced diet. So probably if I can go through some of them, for example, for the most important is to enjoy a varied diet, make sure that we include different variety of foods in our daily diet. And of course, they promote eat fruits and vegetables, and also prefer the whole meal products, whole grain variety, for example, and also combine it with some of the food which come from origin from the animal, such as milk and dairy products. But then they also have a little bit of restriction on how much you can actually take per week. And they also promote this consume of healthy fats, for example, vegetable oil, etc. And then eat everything in moderation. I mean, it's gone. They have 10 rules in total, but I think it's a very interesting and how they actually promote this as a whole. Other than that, I think in terms of fighting against fake news related to nutrition and well-being, unfortunately, we couldn't really find a specific legislation or law that goes again exactly in terms of nutrition and well-being. But we have also noticed that the government agency as well as other stakeholders, they frequently actually promote and release statement and publication in forms of either a website article, flyers, a lot of promotion as well in addressing common misconception and myths surrounding nutrition, as well as, how to actually have a to examine the effectiveness of diets that are popular nowadays, or they also promote again on how to identify and avoid false information related to health. So we also include an example in the ebook. It's about the influence of social media on the development of eating disorders. It was published by the Federal Center for Health Education. They actually create a very informative flyers, how to increase awareness, but not only about the eating disorder itself, but also its science and also its impact, as well as its connection to the heavy social media consumption. So it, on top of that, not just raising awareness of the issue, but they also would like to provide a lot of information on how to seek help as well. So it's not just prevention, but also again how to support and get help when it is needed. So I think just to wrap up, I think we could see that the practices and the efforts across country are quite similar, with one focus on one the other. And I think the ebook in the end gives a really rich overview of how Europe in general promote this topic. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Aventia. Yes, I think we still have more to do in terms of misinformation, right? I think we have more done about nutrition and what is good in terms of nutrition, but still there are some work to do in every country about misinformation campaign and awareness campaign, and that's what our project have shown us during the first stage of what we have done. So now I'm leading the floor to Ainhoa Esquiaga Bravo, who will introduce us some key findings and key conclusions about our work. Thank you, Ainhoa. Ainhoa, we can't hear you. I think you got frozen. No.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes. Now we can hear.
Oh my God. It's just live, and then you have all the problems. So hello, everyone. I think many of you know me already. I'm Ainhoa from the Complutense. I'm one of the partners and also one of the editors of the book as well. And right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to sum up a little bit some of the information and that we gathered throughout the book, and provide some sort of tips on how to find or how to detect the reliable sources for the information that we saw that is sometimes difficult to find in an environment where we have so much information available. So as we saw previously, there are some recommendations at a global level. The World Health Organization, the European Union has some recommendations, European Commission. They have sort of gathered the consensus to tackle the main health problem that we have, that is on the one hand, obesity and sedentarism, which is the core probably of these problems of nutrition. And well, on the other hand, they have also tackled the other side of the problem, which is the this era of post-truth, the emerging climate of fake news and partial truths and misconceptions that come mostly from the political, realm, but they have spread to other parts of the media, let's say. So these are the two, so to speak, core issues that we are tackling, really. So on the nutritional part, I think we have detected, and one of the main problems is the lack of nutritional literacy, to which different governments have responded, and the European Union has responded through developing some tools like front of pack labeling that can serve as a reliable source to learn how to assess your culinary or your dietary decisions, and what you buy or what you don't buy in the supermarket, which as we said, is also regulated, as well as the advertisement and the claims that the different manufacturers can make of their products. So combined, the front of pack labeling, which can be very qualitative, not only the amount of calories, the amount of salt, but traffic light systems such as Nutri-Score, which is one of the most useful for the consumer. They can provide with a general assessment to which we can assess how healthy the food that we are going to buy is. In terms of nutritional literacy, also we have to check, most of all, the source of funding of the information of the place where we are taking the information from, even if it's an NGO, even if it's a scientific publication. The funding and the commercial interests are the core of the issue. And then tackling the other main problem, which is the fake news. Well, as I said, it's a problem that comes from politics, and it can be double-checked through, manually, just going on the internet and Google and checking if there's some other media or some of the websites that support the same claim. Well, they usually have a specific style that we can also spot. And in terms of media itself, we can have another very useful tool that is SciMago Media Rankings, which helps us assess how reputable a newspaper or a media or some media provider is through our ranking. So it is one of the simplified, let's say, tools that the consumer, like the everyday citizen, has to assess how true the claims on nutrition are, or well-being are. We have to say as well that social media is an emerging and very dangerous way of gathering information, specifically for for children, for young people, and for young women. It's been proven that the communication and the media and the exposure to photographs, to repeated photographs, alter the ideas on the body dissatisfaction. They can make you choose some foods over others, or avoid entire groups of foods. So they can be very influential in our nutrition. So there's a matter of the way the news framing of the body and the influence of social media in it that we have to assess as well. So in those terms, what I would like to give right now is sort of a list of sources that are proven to be reliable sources, so that we have to take into account. Being said that the diversity of sources contributes to a more reliable information. So we should seek for support for our claims, for the information that we have in as many of these as we can. First, we would have the public administrations and government instances, as we already mentioned. In many of the countries, we have recommendations. We even have regulation on advertisement of specific foods, or on the claims they can have. The most important ones are the World Health Organization and the recommendation in our part of the world from the European Union. Second of that would be the scientific publications, which have to go through peer review to be published. So to some extent, even if there's no consensus on some issues that may be new, there's a general consensus of the main aspects of nutrition and healthy nutrition, and the impact on nutrition on our health in general. Other academic sources, universities, they can have departments devoted to research on these aspects. They can also have dissemination websites. These generally are trustworthy. Some non-profit organizations and some research institutes for nutrition aspects, they can be very informational. Sometimes their whole aim is to disseminate information, accurate information on nutrition. But we have to be aware, as I stressed before, of conflicts of interest and of the funding. Lastly, we have the reputable newspapers and other media, which we can check through the Simon Media rankings, for instance, but we have sort of a general common knowledge of what a reputable newspaper could be. And then nonprofit news media organization, which is a bit different from the nonprofit organizations in nutrition, because they are more preoccupied on the spread of fake news themselves. So it is more related to politics maybe, but then they extend to other aspects of information. And I think we can, the conclusions we can gather from this is that we have to learn how to have a critical mind, double check all the information that we have online. Good practices, as we said before, are very important, and they can be a great step in the small scale, so that governments implement it at a higher scale. It's difficult to change the gender roles and the expectations on the body, and some tendencies that are global are too big, with very small measures on nutritional packaging or advertising, but it's a step-by-step what we are trying to contribute with this ebook, among other things. So that would be for me, and thank you all to all the participants and all the consortium. I think we did a great job.
Well, thank you very much to everyone. We have a few minutes left. If Maria Jesus, Alicia, Maria Dolores, you have any question, we can answer them now, or we can keep in touch in the future to answer them whenever you feel comfortable. Alicia, I don't know if she's still connected, but she's a student who will soon present her bachelor thesis partially based on our ebook. So when we got the results, I will inform you. Well, it seems that there are no questions, so maybe Cristobal, you can close the session.
Yes, to say thank you to all participants and to point out the website of our project is in our chat. It's nutriwellb.com. We have an English version and a Spanish version, and please follow the link to the ebook. It's open source. It's Creative Commons, totally free for everyone, and you have the link in our website, in this chat, in our social media profiles. So please spread the word and add to our aim to contribute to fight misinformation in nutrition and well-being. Thank you to everyone taking part in this webinar. We keep in touch. Thank you very much.
Very much. Bye-bye to all. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you very much.
Bye.
No,
Ciao, ciao.
thank you. Bye.
A ver.
Hola Elisa, ¿qué tal?
Seguimos María Dolores. María Dolores Arroyo.